is considered an aggressive visibility filter. You silenced members of Congress from communicating with their constituents. You silenced me from communicating with the American people over a freaking joke. Now, who the hell do you think that you are? Election interference? Yeah, I would say that that was taking place because of you four sitting here.
Hi ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, it's going to start a little heavy duty. Let's just say, for example, Twitter was a special place. Elon Musk bought the company. He decided to look through all the Twitter files, like the WhatsApp of the Twitter files, of the Twitter company, whatever. And they found messages between specific people and the government. They were like, yo, yo, yo.
Oh God.
And they tried to be victim.
Good Lord.
Elon Musk also made the decision to share a defamatory allegation that I support or condone pedophilia. And this lie led directly to a wave of homophobic and anti-Semitic threats and harassment against me, of which Twitter has removed vanishingly little. And following the Daily Mail's decision to publish where I live, ultimately I had to leave my home and sell it. Those are the consequences for this type of online harassment and speech.
I don't want you to move, but why are you complaining that people are saying bad stuff about you on the platform, Twitter, when people went to Twitter back in the day when you were head of security complaining to you, hello, I think people are having pictures of me on there, on the rage, and you still did not remove it. And people were like, yo, you are promoting this. There were so many hidden sites. So many hidden sites that even Elon didn't even realize there was a code below the code that's still blocking the people when he bought the company, and they're checking the code. They're like, something is working against us.
Oh, okay.
It's so messed up, the code, that so many people could hide gangster stuff. And now you're going to play the victim because they're talking bad about you and those are not getting deleted?
We're exchanging communications on Jira, a private cloud server, with CISA, NASS, NASED, and Alex Stamos, who now works at Stanford and is a former security officer at Facebook, to remove a posting. Do you now remember communicating on a private cloud server to remove a posting? Yes or no?
I wouldn't agree with the characterization.
I don't care if you agree. This is your stuff. Yes or no, did you communicate with a private entity, the government agency, on a private cloud server, yes or no?
Imagine when you cheated on your partner and you're like, I don't agree with the characteristic of the message. I'm like, hey, yes or no?
What are they doing?
It's so stupid.
The question was if I
yes or no? Yeah, I'm on time. Yes or no?
Yeah, I know.
Ma'am, I don't believe I can give you a yes or no.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now that you did, and we have proof of it. This, ladies and gentlemen, is joint action between the federal government and a private company to censor and violate the First Amendment.
Damn.
This is also known, and I'm so glad that there's many attorneys on this panel, joint state actors. It's highly illegal. You are all engaged in this action, and I want you to know that you will be all held accountable. Miss Gaddy.
Another one.
Yes or no?
Yes, I am.
Okay. For those who have said that this is a pointless hearing, and I just want to let you guys all know, we found that Twitter was indeed communicating with the federal government to censor Americans. I'd like to remind you that this was all in place before January 6th. So to say that these mechanisms weren't in place and to make it about January 6th, I want to let you know that you guys were actually in control of all of the content, and clearly we have proof of that. Now, if you don't think that this is important to your constituents and the American people from those saying that this was a pointless hearing, I suggest you find other jobs. Chairman, I yield my time.
Do you remember the time they were saying Republicans don't respect women? I love that they're using beautiful, strong women in the inside, in the outside. You know what I'm saying? You need to appreciate everything. And I'm like, yeah, it makes no sense. You guys are freaking liars.
Who did this?
I'm happy they're going so hard, telling them, hey man, look for a job and maybe you're gonna get arrested. I wish. I mean, there has to be a consequence that somebody can lie to my face. I find the message and they still lie to my face as if we've done it before. You know how they kept banning a lot of people on the platform? It's like transgender. If you go against anything transgender or LGBTQ, they will consider it a hate crime and they will shadow ban you.
Know why?
They use something that is logical to you and be like, no one, if you talk about sugar on Twitter and you say it cannot be salty, shadow ban.
Oh, here we go, man.
That is why if you didn't believe that a gender can go against their biological nature, that makes you a bad person.
Doctor Strange here? What the hell's going on?
And certain people got so angry at this. Look at this Republican. I love that they're losing, ladies. I love it because they can't go against that woman sometimes. They're like, how do we defend ourselves? We can't scream misogyny. Well, they can scream internalized misogyny.
Mr. Roth, while at Twitter, how many meetings did you have with the FBI?
I couldn't say for sure, but I would
More
say
than 10?
That's a
More
reasonable
than 20?
estimate. I couldn't say for sure.
More than 50?
That seems a bit high.
Many meetings with the FBI. Well, we know how many FBI agents worked at Twitter while you were there?
I don't believe any active FBI
Former
agents.
FBI agents. How many worked there while you were there?
I'm aware of perhaps 2.
Well, we know of at least 9 because they started the BU group chat, BU for Bureau. Now, Mr. Roth, did the FBI ever ask you to share information like users' communication data without going through proper legal channels?
No, they did not, and I would have refused if they had.
That's correct. I see that you denied Agent Chan's request for access to Twitter's data feed. What's sick isn't that you would deny it. It's that the FBI would even ask you for the private data of American citizens without going through legal channels of the law. Now, I want to remind you, Mr. Roth, that you are under oath. Did the FBI ever ask you to do anything that was illegal or questionably legal?
I'm not a lawyer, but certainly not to the best of my recollection or knowledge.
Now, from the hearing that I've been a part of today, it's almost impossible to tell where the FBI ends and where Twitter begins. We have Mr. Baker here, a former FBI agent, and there seems to be a revolving door between the FBI and Twitter itself. Even Mr. Baker said that there was no collusion with the federal government and Twitter, but Mr. Baker, that's you. You are the collusion between the federal government and the FBI.
Jesus Christ.
And now this is such a problem because we're seeing censorship all over. Mr. Roth, Miss Gaddy, did either of you approve the shadow banning of my account at Lauren Boebert? Yes or no?
No, I did not.
Not to the best of my recollection.
Well, let me refresh your memory because on March 12th, 2021, and Mr. Roth, I know you looked at it because Fascist Twitter 1.0 had a public interest exceptions policy, which means for members of Congress to be shadow banned, it had to go before you, Mr. Roth.
Oh, no.
So I'll ask again, did you shadow ban my account, yes or no?
Again, not to the best of my recollection.
So the answer is, Mr. Roth, yes, you did. I found out last night from Twitter staff that you suppressed my account for this tweet. It's a freaking joke about Hillary Clinton being angry that she couldn't rig her election. It's a joke, but in response, being the sinister overlords that you all are, you placed a 90-day account filter so I could not be found.
It's one down, many, many more to go.
And now we see here that Twitter staff said the visibility filter on my account excluded me from top searches, prevented notifications for non-followers, and much more. This is considered an aggressive visibility filter. You silenced members of Congress from communicating with their constituents. You silenced me from communicating with the American people over a freaking joke. Now, who the hell do you think that you are? Election interference? Yeah, I would say that that was taking place because of you four sitting here.
God, what the hell?
The Hunter Biden laptop story was suppressed. A sitting member of Congress was suppressed. A sitting president was banned from Twitter. You know, I bet that Putin is sitting in the Kremlin wishing he had as much election interference as you four here today.
This show is brutal.
We've heard about threats to democracy. Well, what about shutting down a duly elected member of Congress? This is fundamental to our nation's governance, and you all attacked that very foundation. 230 protections? Well, those are for publishers, not for editors. And it's clear you were not acting as publishers, you were acting as editors. And Mr. Chairman, I think it's far past time that we remove 230 protections for big tech platforms who are abusing this protection. And let me just say, I'm not angry for myself. I'm not angry because I was silenced. I can reach out to Elon and to his staff, and I can see what's happened. And I can sit here today and hold you all in account. I am angry for the millions of Americans who were silenced because of your decisions, because of your actions, because of your collusion with the federal government. They can't reach out to Elon. They can't sit here today and hold you into account. We don't know where the FBI ends and Twitter begins.
I never want it to happen ever again.
But I do want to thank
Mr.
Elon
Chairman, we're
Musk
over
for
17
firing
seconds now.
you for and saving free speech and even Twitter. Mr. Chairman, I yield.
Look, man, that was beautiful. That was freaking beautiful. I love to see a strong, stoic, direct woman. And they got it. They got it. Because they did something so bad that made no sense. So if they can remove you, if you don't think the gender is connected to the biology, oh my God. Of course, it's going to slippery slope when you're going to be like, oh, we already banned people like that. Oh, what did he say about the woman? Clang!
He's out of line, but he's right.
That's the new feminism? That a lady cannot speak her thought? I think this is very misogynistic of Twitter.
Indeed.
Why do you always take the worst example? So you can have the power, so you can remove the people that you don't enjoy seeing. And they can do this.
I regret the language that I used in some of my former tweets, but yes, I did post that.
And I'll read the tweet so it's in the record. Yes, that person in the pink hat is clearly a bigger threat to your brand of feminism than actual Nazis in the White House. Mr. Roth, do you think all conservatives are Nazis?
Certainly not, sir.
What about the hundreds of people who worked in the Trump administration?
Certainly not.
Did Ms. Gaddy or any other lawyer at Twitter ever tell you to take down that tweet?
No, Twitter did not have a practice of restricting employees sharing their personal viewpoints on the service.
I find it weird that these are the people that usually say you're not allowed to hit a kid because they might build anger and that is bad for society. But the way they speak, it's like they're beating you consistently. And when you speak back, anything that you say, just your truth, the middle ground, or you're tired, you just say one thing, they're gonna use it to remove you.
You're new to this, right?
It just got my power.
I can assure you this committee will succeed in holding the Bidens accountable. So much of the evidence of wrongdoing from this family is located in that hard drive that you all led the American people to believe was Russian disinformation, when in fact it was not.
Oh.
I'll end it right here. But hey, let me know what you guys think because, whew, I wish we would live in a more honest world. But hey, they're politicians. We need to look very close to find out who is the bad one. And today, these people look very bad.